The night sky had been speaking long before anyone else noticed. High above the desert and distant cities, a single star burned brighter than the rest. Not louder, not demanding attention, just unmistakable. And there were men who noticed. They were not shepherds. They were not kings. They were scholars watchers of the heavens. Men who studied patterns, prophecies, and signs written across the sky. They were called Magi. From the east, they watched that star rise, and they knew something had changed. Something ancient and promised had finally arrived. This was no ordinary star. It carried meaning. It carried direction. It carried hope. And so they prepared for a journey. Not a short one. Not an easy one. They left comfort behind. Left certainty. Left safety. And they followed the light. Because sometimes faith begins not with answers, but with a step. Weeks passed. Maybe months. The road was long and unforgiving. Dust clung to their clothes. Nights were cold. Days were relentless. But the star remained. Steady, faithful. It did not rush them. It did not force them. It simply guided. And at last, the road led them to Jerusalem, a city of power, of politics, of thrones. They asked the simple question, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose, and we have come to worship him." That question shook the palace. King Herod heard it, and fear stirred within him. A king? Born now? Not appointed, not crowned, not controlled. Herod was troubled, and when a ruler is afraid, the city often trembles with him. He called together the priests and teachers of the law. "Where," he asked, "is the Messiah supposed to be born?" They answered without hesitation, "In Bethlehem." Small, ordinary, unassuming Bethlehem. Herod summoned the Magi in secret. He smiled, spoke softly, asked carefully. "Go," he said, "search diligently for the child. And when you find him, come back and tell me, so that I too may go and worship." But his words hid a darker intention. Power fears what it cannot control. The Magi left Jerusalem, and then they saw it again. The star, right there, waiting, guiding them forward once more. Scripture says they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. Not relief, not curiosity. Joy, because they were close now. The light led them not to a palace, but to a house. No guards, no fanfare, no golden gates. Inside was a child and his mother. And when the Magi entered, they fell to their knees. These men, educated, respected, powerful in their own lands, bowed low before a child who owned nothing. This is the moment the world often misses. Jesus did not demand their worship. He did not prove himself with signs. They recognized him anyway, and they opened their treasures. Gold for a king, frankincense for one worthy of worship, myrrh for suffering yet to come. Even then, the shadow of the cross was present. They gave not because they were required to, but because worship always responds. They did not speak. They did not ask. They simply honored. And then, having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they went home by another way, changed. Because when you truly encounter Jesus, you never return the same way you came. The wise men teach us something profound. God speaks in ways we don't always expect, to people we don't always anticipate. He revealed the birth of his Son, not only through Scripture, but through the stars. Not only to Israel, but to the nations. The journey of the Magi reminds us that faith often begins with seeking and ends in worship. And the light still leads. Not always where we expect, but always where we need to be. The Christmas story does not end at the manger. It moves outward to shepherds, to travelers, to strangers from distant lands. It moves toward us. Because Jesus was never meant to be hidden. He was meant to be revealed to all who seek, to all who follow the light. And sometimes, the greatest journey of faith is simply choosing to take the next step. Thank you for walking this journey with me from promise to obedience, to birth, to proclamation, and now to worship. This is the story of Christmas, not just something that happened once, but something still unfolding. Because Christmas is more than a story. It's a promise fulfilled, and a light that still leads. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this series, don't forget, like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.